Hey, Nate, back here, Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. So it felt like this game was reflective of how the season has kind of gone, right? Kind of had to grind it out at first, then Dewana comes in, delivers, you bring it home at the end, ultimately defying odds, and now you're wearing the finals shirt. How did this game encapsulate how the season has gone?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good way to look at it. I would have felt like there's some better parts in between. It was a struggle for 3 quarters. I give Minnesota a ton of credit. That organization, that team, they got some really good players. What McBride did was super impressive. Um, yeah, I mean, for our group, we could have said, we're just going to go to Game 5, Minnesota, and figure it out. Um, it was it was ugly at times for us, but we kept fighting, and that's what we do. We're a gritty group. I don't even know what we were down 13 or 14 to start the fourth, and um, we just kept playing. And when you do that, especially with this group, good things happen.
So, Nate, hi over here. Dewana and AT have had, in particular, an insane amount of playoff experience. How has that made it easier for you to get to?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that there was people wondering why I was playing DB at times in this series early. We went and got her for this reason. I told her after the game, the first uh, 3 games weren't a big enough moment for her. She needed the fourth quarter to step up, and I mean, she hit some big threes, and her experience. That's why you go get a player like that. Obviously, AT has had great moments for us all playoffs, but what DB did, because she hadn't particularly played that well in this series, and um, you know, just I got the ultimate trust in her. She's been through every experience, and I'm super happy for her to do this in front of this crowd.
Nate, you and I, we talked a lot about kind of the construction of this team and how it's really a new era in Phoenix without BG and without Diana Taurasi. Knowing where your group started to where they are now, I mean, could you have,
Yeah.
I know you guys talk about being the underdogs a lot and count it out, but could you have imagined that this is what your team has been able to do, especially also the fact that you guys weren't a full team until really the last month of the regular season?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty impressive. I felt like, I mean, tonight might have been the first time that we were the favorite or not the underdog. Someone asked me that before, and we looked a little bit nervous or tight or too excited. I don't know what it was, because no one has had expectations on us except ourselves, right? And it was one thing that we challenged our group in training camp, that every day was going to be a new day. We were going to continue to come in and work, and yeah, just to see the smiles and the pride and the togetherness for such a new group. It's pretty impressive. It really is. And, we've got some great leaders here that have really poured into the group, and the young players have done a good job of responding.
Nate, congratulations.
Thank you.
On your trip to the finals. Last year, you guys got swept out of the first round by the Lynx, and your team was the oldest by an average age in the league. And this year, it's the second oldest on average age, and you beat the #1 seed, most dynamic offense and defense all year. What does that speak to this in terms of what you said about this new group and having a league where youth counts, but experience is definitely important?
Yeah, I mean, I think when Nick got the job, obviously the roster construction was a certain way. The hope was, last year to put a competitive team around DT and maybe possibly her last year. I thought we did that. We ran into a great group in Minnesota. Game 1 in Minnesota, it's a 1-point game with a minute to go. And then game 2, unfortunately, is in Minnesota. We didn't come back and get to play in front of the X Factor. I think we were probably the 4th or 5th young or oldest team, and then we signed DB, and it probably pushed us to the second oldest. But we knew what it was when we signed her. We've done a good job with our undrafted rookies, and the last, 4 or 5 on the roster. But, you need veterans in this profession, right? They've been through it. Moments aren't too big. And they the regular season is one thing, but the playoffs, they step up and they've done that.
Nate, usually playoff basketball is known for kind of grinding out and really defensive and physical, but you guys were able to put together a 31-point fourth quarter at, obviously the most crucial time of the season. What do you think led to that?
Well, unfortunately they were down to a 7-player rotation. I thought in the first half, when we tied it at the end of the half, that was huge for us. But for whatever reason, we kind of let our foot off the gas, and they got some transition threes. We really didn't have a choice, right? We were down 13. We needed to get stops. And then when we get stops, we're pretty good offensively because we're playing free, and we don't have time to overthink it, and we're just playing. And we made some great plays, some really good passes, and that's what it took.
Congrats.
Thank you.
You spoke to the closeness of the team. That seems like that's the common denominator out of all these teams that fight through adversity at this level.
Yep.
Do you think that was more early on, you and the coaching staff trying to elevate that, or AT and the vets realizing that you needed to get close together as a group?
Yeah. All of it is connected. It's the coaching staff, it's the training staff, it's the players. We've got a great culture. Obviously, when you win, it's easier to talk about your culture, but we've got very high level people in our organization, and you got to have it. And, especially when times are tough. And, again, it's a new group, so there's like a newness, a fresh energy to it. But you want to have these experiences because we're trying to build this thing to last.
Nate, saw you looking up high probably in the last 30 seconds when Kyle was at the line at one point smiling.
You weren't supposed to see that. It went from 7 to like 3 real quick.
Yeah,
I was like, that was not smart.
If you don't mind sharing who you're smiling at and what you were feeling in those moments, even after that final seconds ticking off.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at my family. We took a chance coming to this league, coming to this organization, and I had been living the NBA dream, and it was awesome. Had kind of gotten overlooked at some NBA jobs over the years. My dad was a longtime high school girls and women's coach, and he had a ton of success and took a lot of pride in starting basketball in South Dakota in the mid '70s. And people came out to watch his games at a real high level compared to the high school boys teams. And he passed away in 08, but just looking around, like, I know he would be like so proud. And yeah, I mean, everything Matt has told me he was going to do, and Josh, when I took this job, they've done it. We treat our players at the highest level that we possibly can. I was lucky enough to be with around 4 different NBA teams, and we treat our players as well as any team that I've been around. And that just shows there's a real commitment to what we're trying to do. It's not talk. We've got a big time facility. We've got physical therapists, we've got a training staff, we've got an unbelievable dining hall. Like, everything is high level. And so I'm just super thankful for this opportunity. I got a great staff. It's just I mean, that arena was just special, right? And yeah, that was a cool moment. And then after we were up 7 and they cut it to 3, I was like, that was dumb. I shouldn't have. But yeah, I had one of those like, oh, we're really here, and this is I wanted my family to know that I'm very thankful for all the things that they've given up for my journey.
Hey Nick, looking at the practice facility, y'all have had a counter up days to the finals, I believe.
Yeah.
I wanted to hear your thoughts on how that's kind of helped to up the urgency, to break the mundaneness of the 44 44 game regular season grind. And then part two of that is Alyssa Thomas. Obviously, one of the best winners in the league history wise, but the route to success, it feels like you all leaned into her strengths and kind of complimented her as well as any roster that she's been on has. Can you just kind of speak to that part too?
Yeah, you know, when you get ready for a season, you think about the messaging that you want to tell your team. You know, we wanted a new day mentality. Every day we walk through that facility, the security, we wanted to make each day matter. And so, you know, we put 166 to game 7 of the finals. Some of the media caught wind of it. It might have been like 172. We were a couple days off, but now we're down to like 19 and we're here. We're still standing. It's been crazy to see that number just go down. And as the number has gone down, we've gotten better and better and closer together. And each game means more, right? But yeah, that was kind of the hope, right? That we weren't going to skip days because we were such a new group. We didn't have years of experience together, so every day mattered for us. And then AT, yeah, I mean, I don't know where we would be without her. She's just, yeah, I mean, I've said it. She's special, and she's the ultimate winner. And it's too bad that people have continued to overlook her. But I feel like she feels this is the right spot for her, and you can see it when she talks and smiles. And I'm just super happy. She took a chance, right? She could have picked a lot of different places, came here, and you know, we love having her.
Coach Greg Moore, Arizona Republic. Congratulations on the win. Curious how important it was for you guys to win today to get the extra day of rest, and do you have a preferred matchup going into the next round?
We do not have a preferred matchup. I'm not gonna lie to you. I haven't had much time to even look over there. Part of the reason I think we struggled is we wanted it so bad today, right? We need some days off. We wanted days off. I mean, we've just been going. We've been going. It's the W schedule. This is what it is. Obviously, if you lose today, you go to Minnesota and you figure it out. But the carrot was to win today to get some rest. And we all need it, right? We all need it physically, mentally. So I'm really happy for the group that we're going to get some time off.
Hey, Coach, you took a chance to come here, and as you sit here headed to the finals, can you just reflect on that choice that you made?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here without Nick, right? We're getting ready for the NBA season, and I randomly had a missed call from Nick. I didn't really know. I knew Nick through the NBA circles a little bit. Had interviewed for a spot on Golden State's staff a couple years before, and you know, just going through different interview processes in the NBA, like you want to, you know, you and the general manager are connected, right? And so you want that person to be aligned with you and about the right stuff. And I couldn't pick a better partner, to be completely honest. Him and I see the game a lot of ways in the same. And he's just like, he's the best guy, right? He just treats people with respect. He's about the right stuff. He puts our players first. And so, yeah, I got to pinch myself sometimes just because of the opportunity that, you know, Nick and Matt and Josh gave me to come here to take a chance, because not a lot of people thought it was a great hire, right? And so, you know, that's okay, right? And you know, we're building this thing. It's still early, but I think, you know, we're getting the respect around the league from agents and players, and that's extremely important because, you know, we do take pride in treating our people right, and it's a first-class organization. I mean, that crowd is rival to any NBA playoff game. And, you know, the city, the Valley, the X Factor has to get a lot of credit for that. And I hope that people around the nation see that, right? At times, unfortunately, I don't know why we're overlooked, but like this is a big time place to play. And we're super proud of it. Awesome. Thank you.